how to use an auto dialer to close fix and flip deals. Most new investors underestimate how many people you really need to talk to before you can find a really good deal. Not every person wants to sell for a discount. You've got to find the people that do and why. So you can't build a legitimate fix and flip business or probably even find a single deal if you're just making those calls one at a time. You need to treat this like a real business, which is putting in consistent offers and putting in consistent effort. One way I like to do this is through an auto dialer, and I want to show you how I use that to talk to tons of motivated sellers and keep deals going. Okay, first off, what is an auto dialer? Well, one of the big things you have is what's called call reluctance. Call reluctance means I want to call, but I'll do it when I get around to it, or you dial one number and you wait 10 minutes in between, you dial another number. Getting rid of that call reluctance is really easy when you have some sort of an auto dialer. An auto dialer basically is you load a list in, and with that list, it calls everybody. Lots of auto dialers will also leave a voicemail for you. You can click a button and it'll leave a voicemail for you. So that can be really helpful. I don't necessarily recommend leaving the voicemails. I think it's better just to keep calling. I think that's a better thing to do. But literally, you can put your headphones on, hit the button, and it'll call everybody, and you don't have to dial at all, which speeds things up quite dramatically. Now, some auto dialers will allow you to do multiple lines. So some will allow you to do 1 line, 2 lines, or 3 lines, which means it's calling 3 people at one time. Now, what happens if 2 people answer? Well, it's going to disconnect on one, it's going to have you talk to the one you connected to first, and then it's going to call the person you disconnected right after you get off the phone. It'll do that for you, and you just say, I'm here, and it starts making the calls. When somebody's available, you hear the beep on the phone, and you start talking to them, and it pops on the screen who you were actually talking to. It's a really good thing, and it's fairly inexpensive. Most of the ones I've looked at are $100 to $150 a month, and that includes unlimited calls, so you don't get limited by that. What you do here is you find lists of people. This could be a list of people that have vacant properties or out-of-state owners or bank-owned properties. Whatever you'd like to do in finding those properties, one of our favorites is using driving for dollars, where you're driving around finding these properties. The next thing you have to do is skip trace. No matter how you're going to do this, the only way you're going to find a phone number is to actually use a skip trace service. Skip trace is basically what the police use, what detectives use when they're trying to find phone numbers. And it used to be really expensive to do, but the prices came down considerably. So it's actually just a few cents, like 12, 15, 20 cents per property. Now, the great thing about a skip trace is it's going to give you all the information they find. They're going to give you multiple phone numbers, they're going to give you multiple email addresses, and they're going to give you multiple landlines. They're going to give you whatever they can find. Now, that doesn't mean this is actually their information. It means it's the most current information that they can find. And if it's a situation where there isn't a result on a skip trace, you don't have to pay for any of it with most providers, which is super great. But you may have 4 phone numbers for one person, and only one of those is the real phone number. And the other ones call somebody else. Well, the great news with that is you can ask those people if they are interested in selling a property or if they know anybody that's interested in selling a property. I've seen multiple times where a wrong call or a bad call turns into a property that might be a prospect or even turn into a deal. So treat everyone like they are a prospect, because if they own some real estate, they may be interested in selling, or they may know somebody that needs to sell. Now, here's where it really comes down to it, and that's consistent effort. You've got to decide how many hours a week you're going to spend time making phone calls. The great news is in any type of an auto dialer makes you be able to get a lot more done in less time. So for example, if you're calling on a 3-to-1 basis, you could get 3 times the amount done. So if you're going to call 3 hours, normally you could get that done in 1 hour. And the fact of the matter is it's going to take you more than 3 hours, because there's no way you're going to dial as fast in between the phone numbers. There's no way that you're going to stay as focused as when the dialer's on and you just say, I'm here and I'm ready to go. So dialers, auto dialers can make it really easy for people, help you finding new deals, but you've got to commit to putting the consistent effort in. And it's not just every single week, it's going to be for months. You've got to be prepared to do this and keep doing this for months. I often get asked, oh, what do I say when somebody answers the phone? Well, I like to ask them if this is Bill or if this is Joe or Fred. I don't like to call people sirs. I don't like to call people ma'ams. I just like to say, hey, is this Bill? Yeah, this is Bill. Or no, it's not Bill. Oh, I'm really sorry. I was actually looking for a property in the area and wondering if you have a property you'd be interested in selling. And they may say, no, I don't. And then you would say, do you know anybody else that's be interested in selling? That's the next question I'm going to ask. Now, if they do say, this is Bill, or, hold on a minute, I'll get Bill, then I would say, hey, Bill, just been looking around in the area, looking to buy a property there, saw your house and wondered if you'd have some interest in selling it. That's what you need to do. Now, occasionally somebody's like, how did you get this number? How did you get this? And I just say, we just looked up on records and found the number and just gave you a quick call because we'd love to purchase that property from you. Are you interested? Could we meet sometime? If they are interested, we're going to go through what's called a motivated sellers questions, where we ask them about the property, about them, and then we're going to schedule an appointment to go see the property. When we go see the property, that's when we are going to go through and meet with them, understand their needs, go through the property, and talk about offers and what we can actually do. So with all of that said, I really recommend you look at an auto dialer if the way you're planning on finding properties has anything to do with making phone calls. It's typically one of the cheapest ways to find properties, but it is the most time consuming. So if you have more time than money, this is a great way to do it. Or if you want to get in with as little money as possible, this is a great way to actually do that. Now, you'll typically need to use Investor's Edge to help you find the people that you're going to be calling, whether you're doing a Driving for Dollars campaign or you're using some type of motivated sellers campaign. With that, you can skip trace and then upload those and start making calls through an auto dialer. It can make your life a lot easier and make you more efficient and productive. You'll need a steady source of motivated sellers to call. Our members have access to software that I talked about earlier with Investor's Edge that makes pulling lists of potential deals easy. Check out more about how we help people find deals using our Find, Fund, Flip system. Just click on the link here on the screen and you can go check it out. Make it a very profitable day.